We've generated hundreds of millions of dollars for our small business clients through the years via social media marketing. And these were not all pre-existing, well-established companies. Most of them were small businesses starting from scratch. So if you watch to the end of this video, you're going to learn the exact steps we take with our clients that make small business social media marketing profitable. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brandy with Life Marketing, the digital marketing agency with a mission to help small businesses grow. Before we get started, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the business growing videos that we put out every single week. All right, so today I'm sharing my 6 steps for profitable small business social media marketing. So let's jump right in with step number 1, identify your goals. When starting out in social media marketing, your goal can't just be, I want to grow on social media. Because what does that mean? What steps do you take to grow? It's too vague. It's like telling someone, I want to go there. And the people around you are like, where is there? So you need to set clear goals for yourself and your team. Are you looking for followers, direct sales, increased brand awareness, lead generation? Maybe you want to tackle more than one of those things at a time. That's totally doable. You'll just need a set plan and budget to achieve each goal, which we'll get more into a little bit later. Once you've identified the aspirations you want to achieve, you'll need to assign numeric goals to them. Karan has a great video on this already, so I will link that in the description, but essentially you want to get even more specific with your goals. If you want follower growth, determine how many followers you want to achieve in what amount of time. If you want direct sales, write down how many sales you want at what cost per sale in what amount of time. And to take this one step further, I would ask yourself what you want to come from this goal beyond that. For instance, if you're wanting to gain 1,000 followers on Instagram in 6 months, what do you want to then come from that? Are you hoping to get sales from those followers or more organic engagement from those followers? I know for most business owners, if you go down this rabbit hole of questions long enough, eventually the answer always leads back to sales. Right? Ultimately, we perform all these different marketing efforts to drive sales. But what do you want the immediate outcome to be from this goal? Answering that question will sometimes tell you if this is really what your goal should be or not. For example, we have clients come to us all the time who say they really care about getting followers and likes, that they want to focus on increasing their brand awareness, but then they start measuring everything in website traffic and sales. Those goals don't align, at least not at first. Yes, eventually brand awareness will turn into sales, but the immediate signs of success for brand awareness would be followers and engagement. So if what you immediately care about is sales, your focus needs to be less on follower growth and more on advertising and driving website traffic. Now, some of you may be thinking, don't you need both to succeed? Don't you need brand awareness and website traffic? And the answer is yes, but when talking about small business social media marketing, we're usually also working with small business budgets. And I mentioned earlier that you'll need a plan and budget for every goal that you have. So if you don't have the budget to fund multiple goals right now, you need to prioritize and choose which goal is most important to you right now and fund that goal. Now, the last thing I'll say before we move on to the next step is that if you haven't seen Sherman's video on social media platforms, I would watch that next if you need help determining which social media platform to pursue your goals on first. You want to choose and master one social media platform first before tackling 2 or 3, and Sherman's video helps you pick the one that would make the most sense for you given your industry and target market. All right, step number 2 is to outline a social media strategy. This might be the most labor intensive and time consuming step, but it's worth it. In fact, if you rush through this step or if you're not thorough in your research in this step, it will negatively impact the rest of your social media efforts indefinitely until you go back and do it correctly. Now, we specifically perform a 5-step process for our clients that I will put on the screen here to produce an effective social media strategy for them. And I cover those 5 steps in this video, so I'm not going to re-walk through all of them again in this video. But that tells you how important and research intensive this step is because it got its own video. What I will say is that following those 5 steps will help you understand your target market so much better and therefore how to market to them better. And it will give you a roadmap of what to do to accomplish the goals you've established. Once you've got a plan outlining the steps you need to take to reach the goals you've set, it's time to think about how that plan is going to be executed. Which brings us to step number 3, allocate your resources. When you're running a small business, a lot of times it can be a one-man show. And if that's the case, everything I just said about step 2 taking a lot of time might have just made you drop your head in your hands. But stay with me, don't worry, I have a solution. Either A, you can outsource your marketing efforts to professionals like Life Marketing, or B, you can account for your limited time now in this step. Be realistic about how long it would take you or someone else to accomplish step 2 and execute it. If it's just you running the show, then start blocking off time in your calendar to chip away at everything bit by bit, day by day. There are also tools you'll want to utilize to help automate certain processes and make your life easier, so I will link all of my tool-related videos in the description. The second resource you want to consider and allocate in this step is your budget. At this point, you should have already thought about this at least a little bit in steps 1 and 2, but if you haven't already, you need to go ahead and finalize your budget now. Determine exactly how much you're willing to spend both on the marketing efforts themselves, as well as in the labor if you're hiring someone to help you. You don't want any expenses to catch you by surprise, and you want to have a set number of how much you're willing to spend. And if you're completely new to social media marketing, I would plan on setting a number that you don't expect to make back for a little while. Don't spend $10,000 in month 1 expecting to make $30,000 back in month 2. It doesn't work like that. We've talked about this on our channel before, but if you're a brand new business that nobody has ever heard of, you're gonna have to first spend some time and money getting people familiar with your brand and trusting you before you can expect them to buy from you. On average, it takes 5 to 7 impressions for people to even remember your brand, let alone visit your website and purchase from you. That means you're often paying for an ad to reach somebody 5 to 7 times before expecting them to even visit your website with buying intent. So with that said, if you need some help establishing what your budget should be, I will link Sean's video on it in the description below. All right, now before we get into the last couple steps, which I consider to be the fun part, first, here is a quick message from Morgan about our new coaching program.
Hello! We just helped a small business make over $1.5 million through Facebook advertising. After managing millions of dollars of ad spend for thousands of small businesses and creating thousands of social posts to help businesses connect with their customers, we know how to get results. And we want to help small businesses get results too. So we've decided to give away our knowledge, learning experiences, resources, tools, and feedback to help you achieve results for your digital marketing efforts. If you want to learn the blueprint for success, the best practices from some of the fastest growing companies in the world, get access to all the tools you'll need, and get live expert guidance from yours truly, stop what you're doing and sign up for our coaching program today.
All right, step 4 is to be authentic with your brand. If you followed the 5 steps from my other video, you should by now have a solid social media strategy in place that you've begun implementing. So this step is an encouragement to have fun with your brand voice and be authentically you. 94% of customers are likely to show loyalty to a brand that offers complete transparency, and 61% of people are more likely to buy from companies that deliver unique content. So use your social media to meet those consumer preferences. Be transparent about your business, your team, your products or services, and create unique content that's specific to your company. This will help foster a community of followers that trusts your brand and feels comfortable purchasing from you. And in that same spirit, that leads us right into step 5, which is being an active social listener. Social media gives consumers direct access to brands in a way that was never possible before. Make sure you're taking advantage of that as much as your customers are. Customers are asking questions on social media. I can't tell you how many people flood our Instagram DMs every day with service questions instead of going to our website to look or make an inquiry. They ask us on social media instead. So you want to make sure your customer service extends to your social media platforms to keep a pulse on what your customers care about and to make sure all of their questions are answered. That's one of the perks of being a small business, is that you can see and read every comment. Nike isn't out here answering every single comment and DM they get, but small businesses are, and 73% of consumers will love your brand because of helpful customer service. Now, my last step is to rinse, wash, and repeat on other platforms. Once you've got a solid rhythm going on one social media platform, it's infinitely easier to transfer everything that's working onto a second, third, and fourth platform, especially if you're following all the tips from my other videos that I've mentioned today, such as creating your content calendar in advance, batch scheduling your posts, researching the most engaging posts on each platform, and so on. These are the kind of tips I share and show you how to do in the videos I've mentioned today and linked below, so don't skip over those. Watch them because I promise they will be helpful to you. 73% of small businesses invest in social media marketing as part of their branding efforts because it works and it can be profitable with the right steps in place. And that wraps up my 6 steps on small business social media marketing. If you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell before you go, and I will see you in the next video.